one of the potentially overlooked pieces, and really two pieces for the Carolina Panthers that at least I have talked about, that I believed in early on in this process when things were getting a little bit bumpy, is Chuba Hubbard and Mike Jackson. I remember folks way back when, primarily Mike Jackson, that were not sold on Mike Jackson as a cornerback, feeling like, hey, this guy doesn't have it. Why did we bring him back? There were folks that thought he was a liability, and there's a lot of those people out there that did not believe it. It's in a similar vein to me and Trevin Wallace and having to eat my crow there because I didn't really believe in Trevin Wallace to the full extent. But in the case of Mike Jackson, I was sold. I felt like Mike Jackson had enough for us. And sure enough, he has turned a corner, stepping into the role while JC Horn was out and showing us that there's still a lot of good football there. And that pairing, when JC Horn does come back, sets you up with a really good secondary. It may not be one of the best secondaries, but we're talking top 10, I would say, within the NFL for the Carolina Panthers between that duo. Still some work to do at the safety position, but it's coming around. And slowly but surely, we are finding the pieces within this team. And we're looking at this, and I kind of posted this earlier today. You look at the draft class, really the last 2 years, but really this past draft class, as well as the free agent talent. It's not building blocks. It's past building blocks. We now have boulders. We have solid pieces, and wherever the Panthers end up finishing this season and how this thing goes, whether it's pick 15 or pick 25, they're going to be in a prime position to get a good football player and not have to nitpick to fill a particular position. We know there's going to be positions of need. There's still discussions about Moton, T-Mode. I know he's going to be here, but lots of things to uncover and discuss once we get there. But when you have guys stepping up around you, it makes it a lot easier for Dan Morgan. And if we can continue to hit the way that we have, nice path forward. Speaking of path forward and players that were under the radar, Chuba Hubbard. Cannot say enough about him. When all this transpired, you heard Rico Dowdle in the locker room yesterday talking about Chuba Hubbard's work ethic, his professionalism, how he just knows how to perform, man, and put in the time, put in the effort, controlling what he couldn't control in the situation. Like, nobody wants to be benched. I mean, essentially, that's kind of what happened. He was battling an injury. He wanted to be out there. He wanted to help his team, but unfortunately just wasn't hitting the groove. And here we are late in the season, and we said, be patient, be patient, be patient. Don't think about trading him. Don't think about any of that. Like, this guy is the future of the team just by default of being under contract. Give it some time, because Rico, unfortunately may hit a wall, or Rico's going to slow down, or he's going to get injured. But that tandem duo between Chuba Hubbard as well as Rico Dowdle yesterday, and I guess people are calling it Chico now, I don't know. But that 1-2 punch really hit a gear that we haven't seen, and I think there's more there. You look at the production between both of these guys, really good amount of carries, and Dave Canales had a better and good a run game coordinator. They had a better game plan coming into this past game, coming off of the 49ers where you just didn't run the ball, but coming into this where not only did you run the ball 35 times with your backs, you had a plan in place to utilize the strengths of Rico, utilize the strengths of Chuba, and play off of each other. And it wasn't this, hey, let's rotate a series. Let's rotate a series. It was getting them in when needed. And I think that was a big difference. So for me, it's hats off. Hats off to Chuba Hubbard. Hats off to Mike Jackson. And while we're sending our hats off, why not throw in a hats off to Bryce Young, which we'll talk about in just a little bit.